Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. How are you today? Are you ready for your lesson for Module 2 reading? We are still in the same Unit 1 and hopefully you will go to the next unit for next week's class. Okay, so let's start. Right, so welcome back to my lesson. But first, you have to look for the learning objectives. Your learning objectives there are two. First one is you have to apply dictionary skills to identify the meanings of 8 words. The second one is to describe the ending of the story. So, yang pertama ni, kamu kena gunakan dictionary skills untuk cari 8 maksud untuk inilah 8 perkataan yang akan dibagi nanti. Then the second one is you have to describe the ending of the story. Kamu kena baca nanti cerita tu, lepas tu ada ending dia macam kamu perlu buat ending ikut cerita kamu lah. Cerita sama cuma ending yang berlainan. Itu kamu punya objektif. Tidak boleh sama dengan kawan lain. Okay, so we'll go to the next slide. Are you ready? If you are ready, good. So you have to listen to my reading and read along with me. Okay, sambil kamu dengar madam baca, sambil kamu membaca juga. You can replay this video also if you want to read again. Right? So let's read. Pak Johan owned an organic vegetable farm. He was able to grow good organic greens because of his scarecrow. Pak Johan built the scarecrow himself and made it as scary as possible. He gave it enormous straw arms that stretched out about 2 meters and big long legs. Okay, dalam cerita ni, the main character is Pak Johan. Right? Pak Johan, owner kepada organic vegetable farm. Dia adalah pemilik kepada kebun sayur organik. He was able to grow good organic. Okay, dia berjaya untuk mendapatkan sayur yang baguslah. Okay, good organic because of his scarecrow. If you haven't seen one scarecrow, you can just Google the picture lah after this. Nanti kamu tengok. In fact, I have the picture also, but never mind. Nanti kamu tengok. Pak Johan built. What is the meaning of built? This is a past tense word. Madam harap kamu masih ingat. This is a past tense. Jadi, dia bina scarecrow ni himself. Himself maksudnya sendiri. And made it as scary as possible. Dia kasih buat paling menyeramkan lah. Kan? He gave it enormous straw arms that stretch out about 2 meters and big long legs. Dia bagi, ini adalah ciri-ciri yang ada pada tu scarecrow. Ini adalah ciri-ciri. Okay. Nanti kamu akan tengok lagi cerita dia lepas ni. We'll continue the story. The scariest thing about the scarecrow was its head, which was made of a huge earthen pot. The Scarecrow's face was so scary and ugly that even he was scared to look at it. It was very effective, scaring away every bird that tried to eat his vegetables. The neighboring farm owners, Man and Lan, were jealous of Pa Johan's success. One night, they stole his scarecrow and locked it in their house. The next day, Pa Johan realized his scarecrow was missing and his greens were eaten up. He was devastated. Okay, let's look at the beginning of the paragraph. The scariest thing about the scarecrow was its head. Scariest, menakutkan, paling menakutkan, its head. Maksudnya kepala kepada scarecrow ni, which was made of a huge earthen pot. Apa itu earthen pot? Kamu rasa apa ini pot? Pot macam tu, how to say macam dia belanga macam itu. Tapi dia diperbuat daripada macam pasu, gitu-gitulah. Right? Nanti kita akan tengok macam mana rupa dia tu. The scarecrow's face was so scary and ugly. Even he was scared to look at it. He, di sini siapa maksud dia? Yes, maksud he di sini, the noun, the pronoun that we are referring to this in the story is Pak Johan. Kita gantikan Pak Johan pada he di sini. Right. Dia pun takut untuk tengok dia punya scarecrows. Okay. It was very effective, scaring away every bird. Scaring away every bird that tried to eat his vegetables. Berjaya untuk menakutkanlah burung yang cuba untuk makan sayur-sayur di kebun dia. The neighboring farm owners, Man and Lan kan? Tapi apa tu neighboring? Apa ni neighboring? Neighboring adalah jiran. Takkan kita berkebun kita sorang-sorang kan? Maksudnya di sini ada jiran kebun Pak Johan tadi. Tapi ini ada dua orang. So the first guy named Man, and the second guy named Lan were jealous. Jealous ini adalah satu perasaan yang tidak bagus kan. Diorang cemburu dengan Pak Johan punya sukses. Diorang jealous lah. So one night they stole. Apa tu stole? This is past tense for steal. Mencuri. Diorang curi scarecrow Pak Johan dan lock it. Dan kunci dia dalam rumah. So the next day, Pak Johan realized. Dia baru sedar dia punya scarecrow was missing. Tiada, hilang. Lepas tu dia punya greens pun kena makan. Okay. So we go back. We continue the slides. Continue the story. Okay. Can you see this picture? This is how we imagine the scarecrow of Pak Johan. Ini Pak Johan punya scarecrow yang kita imaginekan lah daripada description-nya tadi. Okay, so we continue. That night, the brothers had trouble sleeping. They could not get the image of the scarecrow's horrible face out of their minds. Man took out the scarecrow, smashed its head with a hoe, and buried it in their lawn. This one. That night, malam tu, brothers tu yang Man dengan Lan had trouble sleeping. What happened to them at that night? Dia orang tidak dapat mau tidur. So, what happened during that night? Man, dia took out the scarecrow. Smash. What is smash? Smash ni macam menghancurkan lah. Kasi hancur kepala scarecrow tu. Ni lah. Imagine he destroyed this head. Okay. And buried it in the lawn. Lawn di sini maksudnya apa kamu rasa? Lawn ini adalah tanah lah belakang rumah, di kawasan rumah diorang. Okay. Alright. So we go to the next slide. At midnight, they heard scratching and clawing sounds at their door. Suddenly, the door burst open and a long straw arm sneaked in. The men froze in fear. They looked in horror as the headless scarecrow's body rose up. It caught Lan's neck. Lan shouted for help, but Man had already made his way onto the moonlight road. Okay. So the story is beginning to get scary lah kan. At midnight, pada waktu malam, they heard scratching and clawing. What is scratching? What is clawing? Ini adalah bunyi. Satu bunyi mencakar dengan bunyi macam something benda bercakar lah. Scratching kan. At their doors. Di pintu dorang. Macam ada something bercakar-cakar di pintu dorang. Suddenly the door burst open. Terbuka. And a long straw arm snaked in. Apa ni? A long straw arm snaked in. Maksudnya sini, dia punya tangan ni siapa ni? Yes, the scarecrow's arm. Dia tadi kan ciri-ciri dia a long straw arm apa semua tu. Tiba-tiba masuk pula. The man froze in fear. Apa tu fear? Yes, fear is takut. Dia orang ketakutan. They looked in horror as the headless scarecrow's body rose up. Apa itu headless? Headless means tidak berkepala. Why he is headless? Because tadi siapa yang kasih hancur kepala dia tu? Lan kan? Dan dia yang kasih hancur kepala scarecrow tu guna itu rose up. It caught. Dia tangkap Lan's neck. Lan shouted for help, but Man already made his way. Si Lan kena tangkap lah, kena cekek begitu. Tapi si Man sudah keluar pergi jalan, keluar dari rumah dia orang. Okay, what happened next? Okay, we are at the last slide. Man kept running. He glanced back over his shoulder and saw the scarecrow chasing after him. It was getting closer and closer to him. He noticed that the scarecrow had a new head, and it looked like Alright. Man kept running. Man terus berlari. He glanced back over his shoulder and saw the scarecrow chasing after him. Okay, dia tengok kan belakang dia. Dia tengok, dia nampak itu scarecrow kejar dia. Makin lama makin dekat. Closer and closer to him. He noticed, dia baru perasan that the scarecrow had a new head. Ada kepala baru. And it looked like you like who? So, that's the question. Siapa kamu rasa dia punya rupa sama kepala tu? Ah, this story is uh, in horror genre lah sebenarnya. And so, let's look at the words yang kamu kena cari maksud. Please write in your exercise book. Tulis dalam buku kamu perkataan ini semua. Okay, the first word is enormous. Enormous. Nanti kamu cari maksud dia, tulis dalam buku latihan kamu. Right, the second word is effective. Effective. Okay, cari maksud dia. Boleh? Kamu pause saja video ni kalau kamu rasa kamu tidak jumpa atau terlalu cepat. Next one. Devastated. Devastated. The fourth word is took out. Took out. Next word. Rose up. Rose up. Next word is glance. Glance. Okay. Right. So the six, or is it six? I think it's six. Six words. Actually, you have to find the meaning. Nanti kamu cari. Ini kamu boleh namakan apa title cerita yang tadi kita baca tu, yang kamu dengar dan kamu baca. Then, this is the task. How do you think the story ended? Macam mana kamu rasa ending cerita tu? Kan tadi dia punya cerita tu si Lan, bukan, si Man dia toleh belakang, tiba-tiba dia nampak Scarecrow tu makin dekat, getting closer and closer. And then he noticed that the Scarecrow had a new head. It looked like who? Itu persoalan dia kan? So if you can relate how the story goes on and how you want to end it, you write in your exercise book. Tulis macam mana dia punya cara cerita tu di end, kena habis. Pendek ya, tidak payah yang panjang. And in the task also, in the story, you can also describe macam mana rupa kepala Scarecrow tu. Kan tadi dia cakap the head looks like ... So kamu boleh masukkan je for example lah, contoh the head looks like an angry cat. Mungkin macam gitu-gitulah kamu letak. Tapi I am sure you know how the story ends, right? Tadi cerita tu pun kamu rasa dia macam bawa kamu kepada pengakhiran yang macam cerita seram begitulah. So I hope you can do the ending on your own word. Tidak perlu tengok kawan punya, because every one of you must have different story ending. Okay, boleh? So that's all for today. And if you have any question, you can just ask me in the WhatsApp, or you can just ask me in the Google Classroom. Okay, all right. We'll see again in the group chat. All right. Thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum and bye.